And hello again, everyone. I'm Chris Lincoln. Thanks for joining us on ESPN's weekly recap show of thoroughbred racing. Of the headline race this week, the 115th running of the Preakness Stakes, the second jewel in racing's Triple Crown Series. Before we talk about that, let's give you an update on the condition of Hall of Fame trainer Woody Stephens. The 76-year-old Stephens was upgraded early this week from a critical to serious condition at Louisville, Kentucky Hospital, where he underwent a quadruple heart bypass surgery last Friday. Stephens was taken off the respirator early this week, and everything appeared stable when he checked with the hospital on Wednesday morning. Woody, best known, of course, for training 5 consecutive Belmont Stakes winners. He's had 2 Kentucky Derby winners, but only 1 Preakness winner, and that one was back in 1952, an old horse called Blue Man. We wish, of course, Woody Stephens the very best. Well, now to preview the 1990 Preakness this Saturday, Pimlico Racecourse. Let's go to Baltimore now, and Mike Hartnett.
Unbridled, first in the Kentucky Derby, will be the last Preakness hopeful to arrive in Maryland. His trainer decided to stay at Churchill Downs as long as possible, and considering the way the colt performed his final work for Saturday, the long stay might pay off at Pimlico.
He stayed here. We had our grass to graze. He didn't know he was in the stress of a race. Now he'll get up there, his adrenaline's pumping, he'll go right from there.
The horse, as you can see, is good and relaxed. He don't have all the press and everything going on which is happening in Pimlico. So I think he's laid back right now, and he'll go into there knowing what time it is and knowing it's race time. He'll go over the course for a couple of mornings, and he'll be dead on ready.
Unbridled will see some familiar faces here at Pimlico, namely the 2 Kentucky Derby favorites, Summer Squall and Mr. Frisky.
I don't think that the public saw the real Mr. Frisky in the Kentucky Derby, and if he runs his race and he bounces back, then I'm confident that he'll win the race.
Yes, Mr. Frisky suffered his first career defeat in Louisville, but he seems to have bounced back in Baltimore. And a recent workout at Pimlico told his camp that the second jewel of the Triple Crown may be theirs.
He's a different horse here than he was at Churchill Downs as far as the track is concerned. We think now that, unfortunately, the Derby got him ready for the Preakness.
Summer Squall has battled back time and again from adversity during the Triple Crown trail. And even though the Preakness will be his 5th race in 9 weeks, his folks believe the Squall can storm back into Pimlico's winner's circle.
But we hadn't pressed on the horse that hard. It is a tough grind to run, you know, through this Triple Crown Series, but he's doing well.
The Kentucky Derby's 3rd place finisher, Pleasant Tap, will try the Preakness, as will Triple Crown newcomer Champagne for Ashley, who won his first 5 races before running 3rd in the Wood Memorial.
He's still somewhat of a mystery horse. I don't really think we saw the true Champagne for Ashley in the Wood Memorial.
With a new cast of characters, Act 2 of this Triple Crown chase is set. This is Mike Hartnett for the Budweiser Thoroughbred Digest.
The draw for the Preakness was held on Thursday at Pimlico, and as we go to the break, let's take a look at the field that'll run for the 115th Preakness in post-position order with jockey assignments.
What a day. I could sure use a vacation.
Yeah, I'd like to be right here.
Ice cold buds.
Hey, maybe tomorrow we should bring the boss.
Nah.
Dixieland Band and Hero's Honor are both sons of Northern Dancer, standing at Lane's End. Dixieland Band is the sire of such Grade 2 winners as Drum Taps, who scored in the W.L. McKnight Invitational Handicap, and Dixieland Brass, who captured last year's Fountain of Youth Stakes. Hero's Honor is the sire of 2 juveniles who were ranked on the 1989 International Classification, including the group-winning filly Golden Era. Dixieland Band and Hero's Honor, promising young sons of Northern Dancer at Lane's End, Versailles, Kentucky.
Fun and games in ancient Rome. 2,000 years later, it's still fun and games. And you're invited. Caesar's Palace. Relive the legend.
The $300,000 Ohio Derby, a racing tradition since 1876. The 56th renewal will be contested June 16th at Thistledown. Winners of this Grade 2 event include King Glorious, Lost Code, and Broad Brush. Come join the Ohio Derby's winning tradition. Nominations close May 19th.
Feel your heart race at Thistledown. Let your heart race at Thistledown. Let your heart race at Thistledown.
It's time now to head back to Baltimore, Maryland. Last week's Pimlico Special is our Breeders' Cup feature race of the week.
This week's feature race is brought to you by the Breeders' Cup, promoting racing year-round with the Breeders' Cup Budweiser Special Stakes Program, the new Premium Stakes Program, and Breeders' Cup Day, racing's $10 million championship.
The Pimlico Special, the first $1 million race in the history of Maryland. Grade 1, mile and 3/16, the 25th renewal for the thoroughbreds 4 and up. Let's take a look now at the field and take a look also at the weights and jockey assignments. Wind Splitter, Ruhlman at 2-1, the second choice with approval. The Canadian Triple Crown winner at 9 with Romero, Silver Survivor at 36. Then it's opening verse, the 3-2 favorite from Alan Paulson. The winner of the Oaklawn Handicap, Chris McCarran, has a ride of the 120 pounds. The filly Gorgeous, 117 pounds, her first test against the males, Eddie Delahousse in from California. Music Merci at 27. Criminal Type with Jose Santos, 117 pounds, is 7-1. Rounding out the field, Mi Selecto, and on the outside, De Roche. Now from ABC Sports, here's the call of the Pimlico Special with Dave Johnson.
And they're off. And Music Merci came into Criminal Type at the start. Ruhlman away cleanly and in front toward the inside. Opening verse is second. Then on the far outside, here comes Criminal Type along with Gorgeous and Music Merci as they move past us for the first time. Ruhlman with Gary Stevens at the rail in front by 3 parts of a length. And Criminal Type on the outside, and Santos is right there in the second spot. Then comes opening verse third. The filly Gorgeous on the outside is fourth at this point, about 5.5 lengths off the lead. With approval along the inside, saves ground fifth. Music Merci on the outside is sixth. At the rail, Mi Selecto with Jerry Bailey saving ground and moving up. Then it's Wind Splitter, followed 2 back by the long shots De Roche, who's 9th, and on the outside, Silver Survivor 10th and last, and about 12 lengths off the lead. Moving down the backstretch after the half in 46 and 4/5 seconds, and that's 2/5 of a second slower than the track record set by Blushing John when he reached the half-mile mark. But Ruhlman has not been asked for his big speed yet. He's in front by a length and 3/4. And it's the Calumet horse, Criminal Type, holding the second spot. On the outside, that's opening verse, rallying up into the third spot. Mi Selecto saving ground at the rail fourth. Music Merci is fifth. Wind Splitter with a rush toward the inside. Now moving to the top of the stretch, and Ruhlman tries to stretch his speed the entire mile and 3/16. With a 1/4 mile to the finish line, he's in front by a length and a 1/4. On the outside, Criminal Type tries to close the gap. Mi Selecto at the rail, opening verse with McCarran on the outside, now moves up third. De Roche at the rail is fourth. And down the stretch they come. Ruhlman still holding on by a head. Here comes Criminal Type with Jose Santos on the outside. Now those two race for the wire. It's Criminal Type with a short lead. Ruhlman second. Here's the finish. Criminal Type from the Calumet Farm wins it. It's their sixth.
And Criminal Type does it in the new track record, 153 flat for the mile and 3/16. Criminal Type, owned and bred by Calumet Farm, is the son of Aladar out of the no robbery mare Klepto, trained by Dwayne Lucas, ridden by Jose Santos. Now for a closer look at the special. We'll go inside the Daily Racing Form. First, to hear from winning rider Jose Santos, and then from the Daily Racing Form's Bill Brasmo.
Well, it was a very big effort for Criminal Type. I mean, the racetrack was fast, but it wasn't exceedingly fast. I mean, we had some real fast horses run in the race after that, a mile and 16th, and where Ruhlman went the mile and 134 and 2, horses like Balsky's Choice and Solano went 35 and 3, so they were over a second slower, even though they were running shorter. And those were all stakes horses in that allowance race, Solano and Finder's Choice. So Criminal Type really ran a very fast race. It was very impressive.
Way Lucas told me stay real close to the favorite horse. You know, the horse finished second, so I'm following right away. You know, I'm stay 2 or 3 lanes and behind. So about a half a mile point, when Gary Stevens sent his horse and I go right after him, you know, it take me a little while to catch him, but in the end, we the first part the wire.
The $600,000 winner's purse for Calumet Farms Criminal Type made history for Dwayne Lucas. He became the first trainer in thoroughbred racing history to go over the $100 million mark in earnings. Well, Mike Hartnett talked with Dwayne right after the Pimlico Special about his new record.
Well, we're just elated. I mean, we felt like it was going to happen, but it's fun to have it happen on a day when everybody's around. It was an exciting, you know.
All at once, boom.
Yeah, boom. We got it. We needed 302,000 today, so we had no shot to get it unless we won this $1 million race. So it was fun to get it all in one big bundle.
And let's take a look now at the remarkable Dwayne Lucas year-by-year training totals. Note he was a thoroughbred trainer briefly in '74, then back to quarter horses '75, '76, '77, then full-time since '78. And as you take a look from '83 on, Dwayne Lucas has led the way every year, the national leading trainer, three-time Eclipse Award winner.
Since the dawn of the cookout, firing up the grill has been a struggle. But that's history with FlameGo fire starters. FlameGo is safe, easy, and it won't affect the taste of your food. The cookout can't start till the coals are ready. Start yours with Weber FlameGo. It makes other fire starters seem primitive.
Sunday night, C-Bo run, C-Bo hit, C-Bo catch. C-Bo Royals face the Yankees on Sunday Night Baseball, live at 8 Eastern on ESPN.
Welcome back on the Budweiser Thoroughbred Digest. You just saw Dwayne Lucas and Calumet Farms score big in that Pimlico Special. But that same afternoon, at Belmont Park in New York, that same team had a filly running in the Grade 1 Chuvy Handicap. The favorite on the lead is R.D. Hubbard Survive. Just behind her in the famed Calumet Devil Red Silks tucked in on the rail is Tiz Juliet. Here's Marshall Cassidy with the call of the Chuvy.
Survive on the rail, continues to lead, getting clear by a full length. Then Tiz Juliet, Dreamy Mimi, Channel 3 and a wink and a nod. 3/4, 11 and 1, they're at the top of the strip. Survive continues to lead by about a half. Tiz Juliet is gaining ground on the outside as they pass the 8th pole. Tiz Juliet now gets the lead. Survive back into second. Dreamy Mimi third. Then Tactile, a wink and a nod by the firm on Channel 3. Tiz Juliet in front.
The same formula that won the Pimlico Special on the same afternoon works at Belmont as well in the Chuvy. The same owner, Calumet Farm, the same trainer, Dwayne Lucas, the same sire, Aladar. The first stakes victory ever for the 4-year-old Tiz Juliet, who has raced only 9 times in her career. Her last win coming in March in an allowance race at Santa Anita. A rider also deserving some credit, Richard Migliore, aboard Tiz Juliet for the first time. Let's look back now at last Wednesday, Belmont's 1990 season opener, for another convincing performance by one of the country's premier sprinters, Housebuster, in the 115th renewal of the Grade 2 Withers, run at 1 mile. Housebuster and regular rider Craig Perrette quickly taking the lead from the field that included Prophet Key and Secret Hello, and then led them home for his 8th consecutive win in 9 starts. Bob Levy's Housebuster, trained by Jimmy Kroll, a 3-year-old son of Mount Livermore out of the mare Big Dreams. He's bypassing the Preakness to square off with Easy Go in the Metropolitan Mile at Belmont on Memorial Day. One more race from Belmont, Sunday's Grade 3 Bouguet for fillies and mares. Run of the mile and a 16th on the inner turf course. On the lead, it's Alan Jerkins trained Summer Secretary in the yellow, holding a narrow lead, but coming up from the back of the pack now and chasing her down on the hot pink silks of Fernwood Stables. Joe Namath, handicap winner, Fieldy, going past Summer Secretary for an easy win in the $75,000 Bouguet. Kentucky Derby winner Craig Perrette once again on the horse in front. A 7-year-old daughter of Northfield's out of the mare Grammy. Fieldy's trainer, turf specialist Tom Skiffington. Leaving New York, we head up to New Jersey now to see Eclipse champion sprinter Safely Kept, running in the Grade 3, $150,000 Garden State Park Budweiser Breeders' Cup. With the call, here's track announcer Keith Jones.
They make their way onto the far turn, and the champ has the lead. It's Safely Kept by 1 length. Proud Amelia is second by a neck. On the outside, Lena's Prayer is third. Molly Bolt is beginning to gain some ground. She's well in contention and moving up at the rail from fourth. My Caravan has fallen back. The trailer now is Big Bozo. The half was 45 flat. Coming to the final furlong, and now Safely Kept turns it up a notch and begins to draw away. It's Safely Kept by 3 by 4. Molly Bolt is second best.
The third consecutive win for the champion Safely Kept. Looks like she's well on her way to another award-winning year. The daughter of Horatius out of the mare Safely Home went off as a 1-20 favorite against her rivals at Garden State Park. Safely Kept is trained by Alan Goldberg for owner Barry Weissport. The winning rider, you guessed it, Craig Perrette. We'll be back with more racing on the Digest, so stay with us.
Thank you.
When Rich Little takes his show on the road, Thrifty is the rental car he puts it all in.
Hey, I save money and I get respect at Thrifty. Thrifty rates are guaranteed worldwide.
Enjoy luxury and savings. Rent a Chrysler New York or Landau with unlimited mileage. Just $37.95 a day. 48-hour advance reservation required.
That's the way it is. Thrifty, lot of car rental company.
For incredibly little.
Call 1-800-4CARS.
Be a winner racing in Illinois. The state's Breeders' Fund program of more than $15.6 million annually provides incentives for all owners and breeders of Illinois-registered thoroughbreds. From special stallion owner bonuses and breeder awards to exclusive racing programs, including an average of 2 races daily for Illinois breds and a series of 30 lucrative stakes races. Be part of a winning thoroughbred breeding and racing program. Race in Illinois.
Are your teeth sensitive? Do they hurt? Watch out for the domino effect. It could end in tooth loss. It's a chain reaction that can start with sensitive teeth. Then pain, which can make you stop brushing. That can lead to plaque buildup, gingivitis, periodontal disease, even tooth loss. Sensodyne helps stop the pain and the domino effect. Ask your dentist if you need Sensodyne, the toothpaste dentists recommend most for sensitive teeth. Help stop the pain and the domino effect with Sensodyne.
If you weren't part of the New York Racing Association's simulcasting network in 1989, here's some of what you missed.
The entry running 1-2, dancing spree, seeking to go, closing ground, proper reality, to the wire. Open mind closing, open mind on the outside, gains a lead. It's New York's easy goer in front.
Don't miss out in 1990. Call us today.
Back on the Digest and back to the races at Hollywood Park. Sunday's Grade 2 $150,000 John Henry Handicap. 1 1/8 on the grass. And Eclipse Turf champion Steinle in the blue with a white bridle, dueling for the lead up front with the Gary Jones trainee Classic Fame. So watch out for the favorite Golden Pheasant and Chris McCarron in the black and gray. Here's Don Alexander.
Top of the stretch, Classic Fame, Steinle. Side by side, stride for stride. Just as lucky from the inside. Golden Pheasant sweeps up now to make his presence felt. Hello Calder still trails. They're in deep stretch. Golden Pheasant quickly to engage for the lead and now to draw clear. Golden Pheasant impressively in the John Henry Handicap.
Hockey great Wayne Gretzky and Los Angeles Kings owner Bruce McNall's Golden Pheasant wins his second start in the U.S. for trainer Charlie Whittingham. Ridden by Chris McCarron, Golden Pheasant, an Irish-bred son of Caro out of the Round Table mare Perfect Pigeon. Wayne and his wife, actress Janet Jones, were on hand to witness their horse's victory and, of course, be part of the win photo. The day before at Hollywood Park, the 22nd running of the 1-mile, $100,000 Sinuator Breeders' Cup Stakes for 3-year-olds. Wire to wire for Alex Elise, and the Gray Filly brought to mind for her first stakes win over a late-charging Tasteful TV on the rail. Trained by Ron McAnally, brought to mind is a 3-year-old daughter of Ruthie's native, out of the Ice Capade mare, Eliza Blue. Let's wrap this week's recap by heading up to Northern California's Golden Gate Fields, a 1 3/8 filly and mare turf race, the $150,000 Yerba Buena Handicap. Featured in the field, another Eclipse Award winner, the 1989 champion older turf mare, Brown Bess, on the lead. She's led from the start, but Eddie Gregson's Petite Eel is in hot pursuit. With the call, here's Golden Gate's Larry Comas.
Jack Cannell hasn't moved his hand yet. Brown Bess is going very easily in front. Petite Eel is putting the pressure on in second position. Right alongside of them, Double Wedge gets a 3-wide trip. Javelina Brown is next, and Sweet Roberta, they're heading for home. Petite Eel on the outside of Brown Bess. They're matching strides up front now. Double Wedge is next. Petite Eel has her head in front. Brown Bess tries to dig in at the rail, but she's beaten. On the outside is Double Wedge. Petite Eel and Corey Blanca beat Brown Bess. Petite Eel has won the Yerba Buena.
In her second U.S. start, Irish-bred Petite Eel with rider Corey Black upsets the 3-5 favorite Brown Bess as the champion runs third. The 4-year-old Bay filly by Ile de Bourbon out of another roundtable mare, Aces Full, trained by Eddie Gregson. Well, let's bring up to date now on some of the top training performances this past week in thoroughbred racing as we check on our Lanes End Trainer of the Month award. Alan Goldberg led Safely Kept into the winner's circle again in the Grade 3 Garden State Park Budweiser Breeders' Cup. Eddie Gregson's Petite Eel, you just saw, won that Yerba Buena at Golden Gate. $100 million man, Dwayne Lucas, had a giant day last Saturday. Look at these stakes. 3 different tracks, including 2 Grade 1s, the Pimlico Special, the Chuvy, and then winning at Churchill Downs with Patches. Ron McAnally won the Senorita Breeders' Cup Stakes at Hollywood with Bought to Mine. Tommy Skeffington conditioned fielded to win the Grade 3 Begay Handicap at Belmont on Sunday. And Charlie Whittingham's Golden Pheasant, the $40,000 Keeneland sales bargain, winning the Grade 2 John Henry Handicap on Sunday at Hollywood Park. And as we go to the break, let's again check the Thoroughbred Racing Communications Weekly National Triple Crown Poll. America's top 3-year-olds, headed by the Kentucky Derby winner, Unbridled.
Here's a simple fact. GMC truck dealers are ranked #1 in compact truck sales satisfaction. #1. Now, here it is in simple English. Compact truck customers get high-quality treatment at GMC truck dealerships. So the choice is simple. Go to your GMC truck dealer, where you're #1, and quality counts.
GMC truck. It's not just a truck anymore.
Spring and summer means getting outdoors to enjoy the beauty of our environment. Hi, I'm Martina Navratilova, a member and supporter of the Sierra Club. This summer, enjoy the environment without harming it. When traveling, don't leave garbage behind. And if you find someone else's, pick it up. Don't break tree limbs or pick flowers. The key is to leave the land the way you found it, or even better. For more information on what you can do, contact the Sierra Club. You can make a world of difference.
Live, high-speed excitement that drives fans wild. It's the Indy 500 time trials where only speed will make the difference. The thrills of Indy Saturday and Sunday afternoons live on ESPN.
Well, Dick Dush's Swaz dream of an international racing series is about to become a reality as the head of Arlington International Racecourse announced that along with the Longchamp Racecourse in Paris, they've announced a 7-race series starting this fall worth $5.5 million. 3 races at Arlington and 4 at Longchamp in Paris. Well, now let's join Dave Johnson, another special guest of his on Horse Talk.
Talking horses with Big Ed McGrath, and of McGrath and McGrath. What kind of a firm do you run, son?
Well, we run really a general insurance agency, but we specialize in equine insurance.
In other words, you're the biggest horse insurer in the world.
That's right.
So how much is a horse insured for? How do you figure that, Ed?
Well, you figured on his breeding, of course, because when you start, all you've got is this little foal. As a matter of fact, of course, you can insure a mare, the foal in the mare. There again, you're talking about stud fees. And then after that, it depends on how much they won and who they beat.
How did you get into this business?
I met a very dear friend of mine, Mr. Billy Reynolds, deceased, who showed me some insurance policies, and I saw in there something about horses. I didn't know anything about it. I contacted a man in London, and we started there 35 years ago.
And you've been in so many different facets of the business, owning them. Here you were a former racing commissioner here in Kentucky. all of it give you the same kind of pleasure?
Oh, I love it. I just love it. And, of course, this is the epitome here, you know, not just because I live here, but I think you and everybody in the media and so forth know that this is the race.
We're, of course, recording this during Derby week. Let's get back to the horses and tell us a couple of the horses that you insured and when they become insured and how insurance changes.
Well, I had a very unfortunate situation. It was a pleasure at the time, but turned bad with Dancer's Image for a great man, Peter Fuller. Then I also had the highest price ever insured for a horse. Horse insured was Conquistador Cielo for $36 million.
And that was before or after he won the Belmont?
That was after he won the Belmont, before the Travers. And then I had Triple Crown winner Affirmed, and I had him insured for $8 million. And Mr. Wolfson said if he wins, and as he passes the finish line, if he wins, I want him doubled, and we were able to do that.
So the moment that he flashed past the wire.
That's right. He was then worth $16 million. And it was quite a thrill, naturally.
Now, how do you personally, though, go about evaluating, let's say, a field of horses? Now, this year, 1990, 16 horses went to the Derby. Could you put a ballpark figure on what all those horses in the Derby would be worth?
You know, you mentioned the word 16. I was at the quarterback club last night, and I said last night I thought this field was worth about $16 million coming into the Derby. By that, the reason I say that is whoever wins is going to be worth considerably more, which would increase that total amount.
Well, by the time this plays, everybody out there will have known who won the Derby, but why don't I just make a date to see you back here next May?
I'll be right here, Dave.
Talking horses with the man who insures them, Ed McGrath. And you can bet there'll be more horse talk next week.
And I wonder what kind of policy he has on Unbridled now. And hello again, everyone. I'm Chris Lake, and welcome to our weekly recap of thoroughbred racing. And, of course, the top story and our Breeders' Cup feature race, the Preakness Stakes. Well, at Pimlico, the nation's second oldest racetrack. Sports exclusive coverage of the Preakness on Wide World of Sports 4:30 to 6. By the way, 16 of 23 odds-on favorites have won the Preakness Stakes, but it hasn't happened since Spectacular Bid in 1979. We'll see you next week to wrap up the Preakness Stakes and all the racing here on the Thoroughbred Digest. So long, everyone.